never seen swimming holes like these. We're tracking down amazing top-secret spots, calling you to dive right in. From a natural slide in the Fijian jungle,
it was so vast, like a bobsled,
to a legendary pool at the edge of New Zealand.
There's no one else here. This is awesome.
We'll swim with an endangered species in Florida.
One came right up to my face and was like nibbling on my snorkel.
And fly high off an 80-foot cliff in the Sequoia Mountains.
It's kind of like a secret place, so to find it was super exciting.
So grab your gear and let's get on the road as we hunt down some of the absolute best secret swimming holes on Earth.
This is my paradise.
We start our journey on Guam, one of the most remote territories of the United States. At almost 6,000 miles from the mainland, here you'll find what might be the country's wildest swimming hole. Most of the population lives in the north of the island, near the town of Tamuning. But if you head to Guam's wild and undeveloped southern countryside, you'll find the Tarzan River Valley and a fun-filled hidden swimming hole called Tarzan Falls.
Welcome to Guam. This is the beautiful village of Santa Rita. We are going to Henry Simpson's house, his estate.
You won't see a parking lot or any signs to guide you there, because the trail to Tarzan Falls sits behind private property, which just happens to belong to one of Guam's off-road racing legends, Henry Simpson.
Hey, Dennis, good to see you.
Henry is a world champion driver based in Guam and loves to show off the trails behind his house.
This area, up to where the trees are, our trail will go in behind that. Kind of hard to get to, but you'll enjoy the trip, I think, and should have a good time.
The hike into Tarzan Falls can take several hours, but luckily Henry and his son John have a faster way to get there.
Everybody knows that when it comes to dirt, ATV, off-road, extreme, he's the man. He's been a legend and pioneer on the island for decades.
If you plan on visiting Tarzan Falls, don't wear your best clothes. You'll have to traverse over a mile of thick and treacherous red mud.
By far the best off-roading I've ever been on.
Once you arrive at the top of the falls, you can choose between two paths to get down to the water.
You can see right down there, there's a rope on the right-hand side of the falls.
We are taking the easy way.
Easy way.
That is the best way to go. We ain't trying to climb down no rope right now.
If you opt for the rope, be careful. The 40-foot descent is broken up by multiple ledges jutting out from the rock face. Either way you go, once you reach the bottom, the view is spectacular. The cascade at Tarzan Falls is over 25 feet wide, fanning out over dozens of tiers of limestone. And the water is a comfortable 75 degrees. The unique rock formations here have turned Tarzan Falls into a relaxation paradise. You can catch some sun on the boulders to the south.
It's like a mini Grand Canyon right in our backyard.
Or if you look directly under the cascade, you'll find several natural seats perfect for lounging.
It's breathtaking. The water feels so good.
To be able to travel here is a privilege.
But if you're looking for more action, don't worry. This swimming hole has got you covered. 1 mile downstream from the falls, Tarzan Pool is 25 feet deep with an angled rock ledge that doubles as an ideal diving platform.
Welcome to Tarzan Pool!
I'm afraid of heights, but I actually jump. It makes you want to do crazy things, step out of your comfort zone.
And it wouldn't be Tarzan Pool without a rope swing where you can release your inner king of the jungle.
It was really awesome to come out here.
It feels so great to just have the pool to ourselves and swim around. It's really relaxing.
Oh my gosh, it's been such an experience.
Now we're off to California and the majestic mountains of Sequoia National Park to track down a secret swimming hole that's truly locals only. This 400,000-acre park attracts over 1 million visitors annually to check out its abundant forests and wildlife. In an expanse like this, it's easy to find your own favorite spot to hang out in privacy. And these guys have found one of the best, an unnamed stretch of the Kaweah River that they've dubbed simply the Cliffs.
The Cliffs is one of my favorites. It's got its own unique personality.
Raised in the area, friends Zach, Michael, and Dan found the Cliffs by accident several years ago.
It's like a huge treasure, pretty much like opened up to us.
The group has managed to keep the place to themselves, so you won't find it on any map or website. The 58-mile Kaweah River breaks into 5 forks, and the Cliffs is located along the one in the middle. The path starts around 2 miles east of the split.
It's literally just on the side of the road, and there's a tiny trail that you've got to spot. It's really unrecognizable, but then immediately you open up and you're on the side of a mountain, and at the bottom of that mountain you can see the Kaweah River.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful place.
Zach and his friends stumbled upon a water wonderland like no other. When they first saw the variety of offerings here, they were astounded.
You see this gigantic pool, bigger than any pool I had ever found. And on top of that, right above it is cliffs. Whatever you want, you can find it here.
As you work your way up the cliffs, you'll hit diving platforms at 20 feet, 40 feet, and 65 feet. And in true local fashion, they've given each its own name.
The very first one that people go to, we named it High School. And of course there's one across the river that's a little bit taller. We called it College. From there we had College Dropout.
But if you're looking for the ultimate rush, head to the very top of the cliffs, where you'll be looking down 80 feet to the water below.
I wanted to see what my limits were. So I would start with flips and spins, and then I would push those things to higher jumps. And you feel the adrenaline knowing that you can do something like that.
So if you want heart-pounding adventure or just a chance to cool off, next time you're in the Sequoias, get over to the Cliffs. And who knows, you might just see some familiar faces.
It doesn't get better than that. Being with your friends up in a place like this.
This is my paradise.
Now we head to Crystal River, Florida. This small town of 3,000 people may not have a famous theme park or popular beaches, but it does boast a swimming hole unlike any other on Earth. Compared to other spots on our list, Crystal River draws a huge crowd. But that's actually part of the appeal, because those crowds are of an entirely different species. Brittany, Kevin, and Christina are lifelong locals, but they had no idea they were next door to the only place in the country where you can legally swim with endangered West Indian manatees.
We're just about to arrive at Crystal River. Today we're going to swim with the manatees.
We're very excited.
I don't really know exactly what to expect. Hopefully we'll get to, maybe touch them or have them come up to us. That would be really cool.
The river itself is 7 miles long, and within that short stretch are over 30 natural springs that pump out 600 million gallons of warm water per day. Hidden within that area is a small inlet called Three Sisters Springs. That's where you'll find the manatees, but only if conditions are just right.
Manatees are a very unique animal, is that everything's driven by temperature.
The manatees only come here from mid-November to mid-March, and only in areas where water temperature is 72 to 74 degrees Fahrenheit.
We keep having these, spottings where we're like, oh my God, there's a manatee, but it's actually a rock or a log. Hopefully we'll see one soon. Everyone's getting really excited, really antsy.
But if you've come at precisely the right time and you know just where to look, you're in for a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Hey guys, look.
Whoa.
It's huge, man.
Northern Florida's Crystal River is the only place in the world where you can swim with wild manatees.
It looks so slimy.
Whoa. It's huge. I didn't think it would be that big.
I can't wait to get in with him. He's right there. When we first got in the water, I'll admit I was a little worried. And when I saw how big they were, I was like, oh my God, if that comes up to me, I think I might freak out.
Adult manatees weigh on average 8 to 1,200 pounds and measure 10 feet in length.
Very, very nervous because I didn't want to hurt it. Didn't want to scare it away either.
And then one came right up to my face and was like nibbling on my snorkel. And at first I was like, what am I supposed to do? And I tried to back up a little bit. It was so cool. I'd never experienced anything like that before.
They'll come up face to face, love on you, whisker you. Actually, what they're doing is it's a form of saying hi.
They come to this area because it's shallow and rich in vegetation. In order to survive, they need to graze up to 10% of their body weight every day in plant life.
Their skin was pretty thick, almost reminded me of an elephant's skin. And they're so large, every move that they make is such a big deal.
Manatees move slowly because they have no natural predators, but they do face several man-made threats.
The first manatee I saw, he had a few propeller scars and a few other marks on him.
Recreational boating and poaching left Florida manatees nearly extinct by the late 1990s. But thanks to new laws, education, and encounters like this, numbers are on the rise.
The Endangered Species Act came out, so the manatees were one of the first animals placed on it. We've actually went from, as the 90s, maybe as little as 1,000 to 1,200 manatees, to actually this last year we broke the 6,000 mark.
I didn't think that they were gonna come right up to me, you know, touch me. It's something that you can't even imagine. It was sort of like what I expected, but in reality, it was so much better.
Our next destination is the mountain town of Salmon, Idaho. Just 15 miles west of Montana, this rural border town has a population of just 3,000 people. Its main claim to fame is that it was a stop on Lewis and Clark's historic 1804 expedition. It's also the entry point for the Salmon Chalice National Forest. At 4.2 million acres, it's the largest in the continental U.S., and it's an area of extremes, with triple-digit temperatures in the summer all the way down to single digits in the winter. But in the middle of this rugged territory, there's a secret swimming hole that's picture-perfect year-round, and it's called Goldbug Hot Springs.
So we just had breakfast at this hole-in-the-wall diner and got directions out to Goldbug, but basically there's no signs. We're just kind of following a dirt road.
Jesse, Holly, and Kara have flown in from California to track down the hot springs. But without a guide, it's easier said than done.
So we just ran into a local. He said we'd never find this place, but he's gonna take us there, so we're following this white pickup truck.
You cross right up here, you'll see the sign.
If you can locate the entrance to the trail, you're in for a strenuous hike. The elevation starts around 4,000 feet and quickly goes up from there.
The air, you can tell it's getting a little bit thinner. We've been climbing for a total of about 3 minutes, and we're already losing our breath.
Here you're surrounded by the 10,000-foot peaks of the Rocky Mountains.
The views are stunning, as you can see.
But once you reach the springs, it's all about the water.
Amazing!
Made it!
I love it!
10 natural waterfall-fed pools with an unforgettable view of the Idaho Valley.
I can't even believe it, to be honest. I'm in awe.
It's like a swimming pool oasis.
The pools range from 90 to over 110 degrees.
It's so good. Just want to stay here all day.
Most people lounge in one of the center springs that tops off at about 104.
It's warm enough to probably take my bikini off. I think there's hotter up there.
The hottest spot at Goldbug is the shallow 35-square-foot pool at the top.
Well, the ducky tells me 112.
When you're ready to cool off, you'll have several options among the lower pools.
Someone just told us about the secret cave. We're gonna go explore. We kind of came off the beaten path a little bit, so here we go.
If you turn right just past what looks like the bottom, there's a crack in the rock wall that leads to a private natural spa that the locals like to keep to themselves.
It seems like it's a little secret because nobody else is down here.
This cave is a great place for a private picnic. It's also clothing optional. So strip down if you want, open a bottle of wine, and just sit back and enjoy the mountain air.
The cave at the end was my favorite part. Felt like I was in the Lord of the Rings for a while there.
I am absolutely exhausted, but it was such a great adventure.
Goldbug Hot Springs! Woo!
Now we're off to the far eastern reaches of Mexico, on the country's Caribbean coast. The area's biggest city is the well-known spring break destination of Cancun. But 90 minutes south, near the tiny town of Chemuyil, there's an even wilder destination, an underground swimming hole called the Cenote dos Ojos. And for local scuba divers, Sarah, Hugo, and Simon, it's one of their favorite places on Earth.
The water is so clear and there's lots of beautiful sunlight. It's pretty amazing.
Cenote dos Ojos is part of one of the world's largest cave systems, and it's almost entirely underground. To find it and fully explore it, be sure to bring plenty of oxygen and book an experienced guide.
I've been diving for over 27 years professionally, and this is one of my biggest passions that I have.
The cave entrance is easy to miss. Even if you know where to look, a small pool of bright blue water is all you'll see. Dos Ojos means two eyes, and there are two hidden cave entrances.
One east eye, one west eye, so two different sides. It's pretty small in the opening, but then as soon as you get like 10 meters down, 30 feet down, it opens up really wide.
The west entrance is to the right. It leads to a cave called the Barbie Line, and there's literally a line that runs down its length. That's because there are over 51 miles of tunnels branching off from this thin cavern, many of which are dead ends. Without this guiding line, divers could never find their way in or out.
I think that's the coolest thing is you can see all these corners and places where it looks like it goes on forever, and in many parts it does.
These caves were formed by collapsing sinkholes over 6,500 years ago. In some areas, the roof collapsed as well, allowing beams of sunlight to shine through.
I love how you can see all the lights shining through the water. They look like light columns. I loved it.
Once you exit the Barbie Line, turn right, follow the wall, and you'll find the entrance to the second eye of Dos Ojos. And it hides a shocking surprise.
Oh, wow.
Deep in the jungle of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula lies a pair of underwater caves called the Cenote dos Ojos. The first cave features miles of twisting passageways, but the second cave features something even more mysterious.
Oh, wow.
A hidden chamber filled with hundreds of tropical fruit bats.
They live inside the bat cave, and then in the morning they leave to eat, to poop, to pollinate, and then come back in.
Those bats hanging everywhere, having parties. Look at them.
I feel like Batman when inside there.
As you head back down from the Bat Cave, you'll pass through unique and otherworldly rock formations.
Some areas looks like frozen waterfalls. It's really cool.
These cathedral-like pillars of limestone have been forming for over 10,000 years, and they're still growing today.
You can see how the water was ripping at one point, shaping those stalactites and stalagmites.
A stalactite takes up to 10 years to grow for 1 inch.
The formations are incredibly fragile, so to make sure they remain for future explorers, take care not to touch them as you head back to the entrance.
It's amazing to bring people to see this for the first time. Sometimes people are speechless, they don't know what to say.
Next time you guys are in the Riviera Maya, be sure to come visit. Come early so you can have it all to yourselves. It's an amazing secret spot in the jungle.
Next, we head to New Zealand to a remote area known as the Northlands, 3 hours from Auckland. Here up the coast from the small town of Madapuri, you'll find a legendary swimming hole called the Mermaid Pool. Locals Sophie, Cam, and Max are on a mission to reach the pool. And today, that mission starts at dawn.
So the cool thing with the mermaid pools is that you can only access it for a couple hours each day. And if you miss that window, that's it, you can't get to them.
That's because this spectacular seaside swimming hole only appears for 4 hours a day during low tide. Then the sea swallows it up, along with the path that leads to it. The journey begins at Madapuri Beach with a half-mile walk north over stunning white sand.
We're literally the only people on the beach right now.
This is actually why I love New Zealand. There's not even any footprints on the beach. Apart from ours.
Like the pool itself, the trailhead is only accessible within 2 hours of low tide. Outside of that, the ocean and the rocks are too dangerous to pass.
All the rocks around there are super sharp. You can scar your legs up pretty good. We've got the big hill coming up.
The trail starts with a near vertical climb. You'll need to grab the roots and branches of the ancient Pahudakawa trees and even use ropes to help pull yourself up.
It's a steep hike. You're going to be out of breath doing it even if you're super fit.
It almost feels like climbing a ladder.
At the top of the headland, you'll hear the ocean nearby.
So cool.
Exciting.
Follow that sound and continue through the forest until you emerge to a breathtaking view of the Pacific.
This is my favorite bit of the walk right here.
Me too.
Oh yes, look at that. We can stop here and just admire the view for a minute. There's no one else here. This is awesome.
Worth it. So good.
Walk down the hill, and if you've timed your visit just right, you'll see the Mermaid Pool. This amazing hidden swimming hole was carved out of the volcanic rock by ocean waves over thousands of years and is replenished with fresh seawater every day.
Might be time to cool off, eh?
I think it's time to jump in. Let's do it. How's it feel?
Oh,
refreshing.
so fresh.
The local Maori tribe calls the pool Te Waiote Taniwa, which means the water of the guardian. Here, they lay offerings from their harvest to the mermaid-like protector of their land.
You can't not come to the mermaid pools and feel a bit like a mermaid, and I think that's every girl's dream.
The #1 mermaid!
I'm the queen!
At low tide, the pool is fully protected from the outside ocean waves, leaving the water perfectly still.
It's an interesting contrast between the stillness and the mermaid pools and then coming out and there's the waves crashing over the rocks.
High tide's coming in, so we have to leave, unfortunately. But yeah, make sure you come at low tide. Hopefully you get to see it all by yourself. It's really nice. Yeah, just like we did. We couldn't have asked for a better day to come out here and to swim at the mermaid pools. Yay! Yeah.
From New Zealand, we head around the world to the Caribbean Sea, to the tropical U.S. territory of Puerto Rico. The capital, San Juan, is just a 2.5-hour flight from Miami, but it has a vibrant culture and cuisine all its own, attracting over 3 million visitors per year. But if you want to escape the tourists, you'll find all the excitement you need at a swimming hole in the rural coffee-growing region of San Sebastián. This small municipality is crisscrossed by 12 rivers and tributaries that have carved out stunning geological features.
Show us the way, man. Where
here.
And local cliff diver Jesus Gonzalez is taking his friends to one of the most stunning of them all, a secret waterfall called Gozalandia.
It's like a little bit slippery, so be careful, guys.
Without a guide like Jesus, getting there can be tricky. The path is unmarked and splits into several dead ends.
We see this very, very small path, and you're like, okay, where is this guy taking me? We're gonna make it all the way down there?
Yes.
So you start walking and you start hearing the river, just the anticipation starts growing and growing, and it's just really exciting.
Follow that sound of rushing water, and you'll reach a makeshift staircase that will take you to one of Puerto Rico's most amazing natural wonders.
Oh my God. Oh God.
Gozalandia is a 3-tiered cascade over limestone, a wide fan-shaped waterfall that gently splashes down into an inviting deep green pool.
This is unbelievable, you guys.
Oh my God, this is beautiful.
But are you jumping from over there?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump everywhere. So.
You're crazy.
Let's see.
Limestone is a relatively soft rock, which has allowed the water to carve it into a series of unusual shapes. But all the nooks, caves, and crannies conceal 4 distinct diving platforms, making Gozalandia one of the world's top spots for cliff jumping. The first 2 are on the right side, adjacent to the cascade. There's a 10-foot-high lower tier, and directly above it, another platform at 20 feet.
Now that I see that I have different options, like big ones, small ones, so I'm getting more comfortable.
But platform number 3 isn't so easy to find. It's actually hidden behind the waterfall itself. You'll have to climb a 45-degree incline over the wet rocks. From here, it's a 35-foot drop to the pool below. But the main event at Gozalandia is the top of the falls, a dizzying 50 feet above the pool. To get there, you'll have to go back to the trail and hike around to the east.
I'm a little bit disappointed that my friends, they don't want to do it. They are a little bit scared, but I'm not gonna let that happen to me.
Woo! Scared. I was covering my eyes. I was so scared for him. I didn't think he was gonna jump because I saw him hesitating a little bit. I was like, oh my God, what's happening?
The U.S. territory of Puerto Rico is a great getaway for a wild time. And there's no place wilder than the breathtaking Gozalandia waterfall. The top ledge offers a 50-foot cliff jump that's challenging even for the most seasoned experts.
I thought he was falling and I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
It's fast but good. It's worth it. Definitely a good experience.
Fast is an understatement. From the top of Gozalandia, you'll be going 38 miles an hour as you splash down. As the adrenaline wears off, there's no better place to finish your day at Gozalandia than right behind the cool cascade.
This is something that you definitely have to experience for the bucket list, guys, for sure.
Now we head down under to Australia to track down a colorful swimming hole in far north Queensland, deep within the Daintree National Park. Australia's beautiful beaches and rugged outback are world famous, but in between is a forested region that gets very few visitors. Here, among groves of strangler figs and ribbonwood trees, you'll find rare species like the ringtail possum and the tree kangaroo. And you'll also find an ancient and impressive swimming hole called Mossman Gorge.
The landscape up here is stunning. I've never seen anything like it anywhere else in the world.
Cairns locals Rachel, Drew, Georgia, and Josh are driving up to check out the beauty of the gorge for the first time.
I've been to a few of the other waterfalls around Cairns, but this is one that's been on my list for a long, long time.
The hike to the gorge begins 1 mile west of the town of Mossman, but with dozens of twisting trails in the area, you could easily reach a dead end in the rainforest instead of the swimming hole. To find the right path, you'll likely need to hire a local.
But there's Link, there's our guide.
Right on.
Hey, buddy. How's it going? Nice to see you this morning.
This is the native land of the Kuku-Yalanji tribe of Aborigines, who still live here today and offer guide services to visitors.
So in the Mossman Gorge, people have lived up here for over 20,000 years. There are still families running around in the forest up here that have never come out.
The gorge dates back 135 million years and is part of the oldest continuously surviving rainforest on the planet. If you stick to the right trail, after 1 mile you'll hit a set of granite boulders and a flowing stream of inviting bright green water. This is one of the world's oldest watering holes, supplying fresh water to the Aborigines for tens of thousands of years. And for just as long, they've been using the creek for plenty of fun, too.
Me and mate Drew just kicked it onto boogie boards and did some rapid surfing.
The water was so nice and cold and refreshing when we got in, and just beautiful.
In addition to the rapids, there are also a variety of boulders to jump from, and thick jungle vines that make for a perfect rope swing.
Best vine is this Wader wild vine. It's one of the strongest. When you open them up, you'll see all the fibres, just thousands of fibres in there.
And along the shore, the granite rocks have shaped the river into dozens of calm water pools.
Swimming holes are great. The water temperature's been beautiful because it's it's quite hot outside.
From here, it's the ideal vantage point to take in the prehistoric wonder of this ancient swimming hole.
We call the mountain behind us Munjaldimbi. It's our protector. It's looked after us. And about 20,000 years ago, a big tidal wave came through and pushed all the families up into the hills. But the mountain protected the families, and that's why we're still here today. So it's such an old history, and it's such a spiritual place.
This place is absolutely amazing. I'm going to remember this day for a long time.
Now we head to California's Los Padres National Forest. It covers almost 2 million acres of the state's mountainous coast. And within that vast area lies a secret swimming hole that takes some serious effort to track down.
We're at Arroyo Seco today.
The Arroyo Seco Gorge is impossible to find if you don't know where to look. Hidden out of sight by towering walls of rock, you could walk right by and never know it. If you want to track it down, start at the Arroyo Seco campground and head northwest for 2 miles.
There's wildflowers everywhere, and you can hear the water rushing throughout the whole walk.
The road dead ends at the water. The terrain gets rougher from here, but you'll need to keep going and follow the river for 1 more mile.
At the end of the hike, you cross this little bridge, and it leads you right down to the swimming hole.
Though Arroyo Seco means dry creek, this place is anything but. Water from high up in the mountains falls over sand and granite bedrock, eventually making its way into these deep pools.
The water here is so crystal clear, you can see 20 feet to the bottom, but it has this dark, sparkling, just beautiful quality to it.
And those same rock walls that make this spot so hard to find also make it one of the most exciting swimming holes in the country.
I'm just super stoked to go jump some cliffs.
The cliffs here range from 5 to 20 feet high, so even novice divers can try taking the plunge.
There's like a little cliff, and we were spending our time on that, getting warmed up.
You literally just walk up from the beach, this little rock that you climb.
But if you're an expert cliff jumper, Arroyo Seco has one more hidden secret to offer. Hidden behind sheer rock walls, deep in California's Los Padres National Forest, is a cliff jumper's paradise called the Arroyo Seco Gorge. When you arrive, you're treated to diving platforms ranging from 5 to 20 feet high.
We've just been jumping the small jumps, 15, 10 feet, having fun, but we're looking at these monsters right now.
That's right, there are even higher jumps available at Arroyo Seco, and they're actually attached to an adjacent swimming hole. And there's only one way to get there, by swimming upstream.
You're swimming against the current, so it's a little hard. You do have to be a little more fit. Definitely worth it.
But the swim won't be your only workout.
To do the big cliff, sometimes you have to climb up this wall of rock and over a peak just to get to that awesome high ledge.
Between 50 to 70 feet, these are some of the most challenging cliff jumps in California.
My heart was pounding, but I knew that just to push myself, I had to go for it. So I took those 3 deep breaths, stepped over to the edge, and I went for it.
From the top ledge at Arroyo Seco, it's a 4-second free fall before you splash down into the 20-foot deep pool below.
I saw huge front flips, back flips, gainers. Everything I saw was just wow.
When you come over here, the rolling hills, the water's really blue. I love it. It's like just amazing. I would definitely be back.
Now we head over 5,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean to Fiji, a tropical paradise made up of 333 separate islands. 70% of the population lives on the largest island called Vita Levu. But you can find even more action 100 miles away on the sparsely populated island of Taveuni, where there are a pair of wild swimming holes that the local villagers have been enjoying for generations.
We are going to see Waitavala. I'm so excited and I can't wait to see it.
Christina is a teacher from Croatia on a year-long sabbatical. When she and her friends asked to see where the Taveuni natives go to have fun, local guide Lionel Peterson only had one place in mind: the falls and water slide at Waitavala.
Waitavala has been local knowledge passed on from grandfathers to my father and now to me, and all we do is just have fun and just relax there.
The village of Waitavala is so small, it isn't even on the map. To get there, you'll have to drive through miles of mud and grass.
Driving down the normal road, and we got to a fork, take a right, and now we're just parked in a side road waiting for a 4-wheel drive to take us the rest of the way down this desolate track.
And once you reach the village, you still have to find the trailhead, which is tucked away behind this Catholic church.
So the hike up is crazy here. We went through someone's backyard. We trekked there, following our guides. And then it opened out into this beautiful kind of cascading waterfall. Wow.
This looks awesome.
Couldn't wait to jump in.
The first of 2 swimming holes in the area, Waitavala Waterfall features a 25-foot cascade feeding an 18-foot deep pool of cold blue-green water. And the locals like to start things off here with a cliff dive off the top ledge.
The jump was just incredible. Really cool.
It was really cool. Good introduction to Fiji. Good way to wake up at the beginning of the day. Brilliant.
But believe it or not, a 25-foot cliff jump is just a warm-up here on Taveuni Island. If you're willing to venture deeper into the jungle, you'll be blown away by Waitavala's main event.
This is the one. This is the big one.
The country of Fiji is well known for its calm natural beauty, but the remote Waitavala region offers plenty of action too. Starting with a bright blue private swimming hole and a 25-foot cliff jump. But this small waterfall is just the tip of the iceberg. If you climb up and hike another 20 minutes into the jungle, you'll reach something far more incredible. One of the wildest natural water slides in the world. A 160-foot-long channel, 3 feet wide, fed by rushing water from high up the mountain.
The water slide is always fun. When it rains early in the morning, force of the water is so strong, and when we slide down, it's so fast, and it's a lot of fun, and everybody's gonna have a blast.
The ride down may look rough, but the non-stop flow of water has eroded the volcanic rock into a smooth and speedy descent.
So we just did our first slide, and it was absolutely mental. It was so fast, so like a bobsled. Like,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Bump
really,
into
really
each
cool.
other, but it's really smooth going down. Really cool, really fast. It's awesome.
Yeah. At the beginning, I thought it was like a little bit scary, but you know, it's so smooth. I mean, it's like back to the childhood.
The slide slopes 30 degrees along most of its course. Then, 12 feet from the end, it hits an even steeper 45-degree angle, giving you a rush of acceleration just before you hit the 4-foot deep pool at the bottom.
It's really good. It's much better than a water park.
All that cold, rocky water is awesome. Really nice and cool. Awesome going down.
The local village children typically come to Waitavala on Sundays to slide and swing off the vines above. But come on a weekday and you'll have the place all to yourself.
It's really an amazing place, and we recommend everyone who come to Fiji to check this place and enjoy as much as we did today.
We've just taken you around the world to 10 of the best secret swimming holes you'll ever see. Now in order, let's count down this incredible journey. At number 10, the mysterious twin caves of Mexico's Cenote dos Ojos. The ancient Aboriginal swimming hole at Mossman Gorge comes in at number 9. Next, at number 8, the remote private pools of Goldbug Hot Springs. Number 7 is the towering cliffs of California's Arroyo Seco Gorge. New Zealand grabs the number 6 spot with Matapuri's Mermaid Pool. And the breathtaking waterfall at Puerto Rico's Gozalandia is number 5. Number 4 is the once-in-a-lifetime manatee swim at Florida's Crystal River. And at number 3, the 80-foot monster jumps at California's The Cliffs. Number 2 is Guam's exciting and beautiful Tarzan Falls. And topping the list, the number 1 secret swimming hole on this trip, Fiji's heart-racing Waitavala water slide.
Here we go.